Hello out there, internet world. Hello. It's your bearded brothers, and we are back yet again with yet another sports podcast. I am the bearded brother Matt.
I got a bird.
That is the bearded brother Chris showing off his bird, or the bird. The channel mascot, Loki. Alright, so Wild Card Weekend has ended. Thoughts, Chris?
They were wild, all right.
Mostly in the fourth quarter.
Mostly in the fourth.
Mostly in the fourth. Now, we do have some information to put out post Wild Card Weekend, right?
Do we?
I think we do, because a couple of people...
We have some news, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say, a couple of people are no longer employed.
I thought you were talking about us having news. I was like, I don't know about us having any news. What are you talking about?
The only news we have is that I'm applying for internships and stuff with minor league team down in Round Rock. I'll let everybody know if I get that, but we'll see. Be nice.
Hopefully.
I suppose. Yeah, be nice. I think I'd learn a lot doing that.
At least get in the industry would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, get me into the industry, that kind of thing. No,
Nope.
So we should probably talk about people that are no longer employed.
I mean, we've talked about some of those. What new ones were there?
There were two that came out post Wild Card Weekend that I can think of off the top of my head. The first one is a pretty big one.
I can think of one for sure.
Yep, the first was a pretty big one. Since the AFL merger, this team is now going to have its fourth ever head coach, and that is the Steelers, because Mike Tomlin resigned. They did not fire him.
I was going to say, they didn't fire him.
He said, I'm done. Now, I wonder if it was...
It could have been after conversations. It could have been, yeah.
Yeah, if they had conversations where like, hey, Mike, would you just resign for us? Because that sounds better.
I mean, they're still going to... The thing is, they still pay him either way, right? Like, It doesn't... But I thought what was kind of funny about it is how many people kept being like, at this point, Mike Tomlin won't get fired. Mike Tomlin will decide when Mike Tomlin's done. And Mike Tomlin decided when he was done.
He more or less said, I'm done. I'm done right now.
I'm done with this now.
The thing is, I don't know, like, you and I both suspect, we have a pretty good idea that Mike Tomlin is going to go, to, like, broadcasting.
He's probably going to pull a Sean Payton.
Yeah.
He's going to pull a Sean Payton.
He's
He'll
going to
broadcast for like a year or two.
Yeah.
And then he'll go to another team. Yeah.
Exactly, 100%. I think that's what he's going to do, is go be like a Sean Payton type of guy and go broadcast for a year or two and then find himself another team. If he goes right back into coaching, it would surprise me. And again, if he goes to college coaching...
You'd have to buy out his contract or something, you know?
Yeah, it would surprise me if he went to, like, the college level. That might not violate a non-compete agreement. I know Penn State, I believe, is still looking for a coach, and that's close enough to Pittsburgh.
2 paychecks at that point. But then he's collecting 2 paychecks for football teams, which is hilarious.
Yeah, but Bill Belichick does that now.
It would just be funny. I know, I'm just saying it would be funny.
Yeah, but, I mean, one would be a pro team, one would be a college team. The thing is, I don't think he's going to do that.
Is Belichick still collecting money from the Patriots?
I believe so. I don't know about it anymore, but I don't think his contract was up when they let him go.
That I didn't remember, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I don't think it was.
Well, all right. Fair enough.
Either way, the point is that I do know that they just signed Tomlin to an extension last offseason. So...
They did. They did.
It was like a 3-year deal, though.
I think it was a 3-year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to say it's 3 years. Yeah.
I think for a year or two would make sense because he's not going to buy out his own contract. And the odds that a team's going to want to reach out and buy out his contract is low, kind of like Sean Payton.
Yeah.
So he'll just wait out the 2 years doing the broadcast, and then he'll go to a team free of charge. You know?
I think that's exactly what he's going to do, is just wait out the deal for another couple of years and see what comes available and see if he even wants to get back into coaching. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, maybe he's happier.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's made a
Maybe he's
ton
into
of
the
money.
broadcast. Yeah.
He's already made a ton of money, and broadcasting, I think, for him would be easier. You don't have, it's not a year-round gig. Because even when you're not being the head coach of the organization, you're still the head coach of the organization. Right?
Yeah.
More or less?
More or less.
So, the other one is one that we've kind of expected to happen. Or at least I did. I don't know where you sat on it. The Eagles have fired offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo.
Yeah, no, I expected that.
Whose playbook consisted of Saquon, run it up the middle, Saquon, run it up the middle, Saquon, run it up the middle, or deep pass. Okay, let's punt.
Yep. Funnily enough, speaking of offensive coordinators that have gotten fired, there was another one that also happened. He may have been with the Chargers and only scored 3 points.
Yeah, Greg Roman.
Greg Roman has officially fired by the Chargers as well.
The fun part about that is Jim Harbaugh has only ever had one offensive coordinator when he was a head coach in the NFL, and it was Greg Roman. When he was the head coach of the 49ers, Greg Roman was his OC. When he was the head coach in LA for the Chargers, it was Greg Roman. But now Greg Roman is...
Yeah, but I think he learned pretty quickly that offense doesn't work anymore.
No, it doesn't. And now Greg is...
It obviously doesn't work anymore.
Greg is Roman now. Roman for a new job. That was bad. I'm sorry. That was terrible.
You should feel bad about that. I
apologize for that one. My wife would probably just not even engage with that. Okay. Terrible. So, after my terrible pun, yes. So three positions have become available. The other one is the Commanders have hired themselves a new DC, and he was already on their staff. I think he was the defensive line coach or something.
He was their... Yes, I believe so.
Something like that.
I believe so.
But at any rate, they liked him so much, and they thought he might go to another team, so they promoted him and gave him a new job title pretty quick.
Yep.
In the meantime, the only other
we have to have another hiring.
We're about to have another hiring. It hasn't been made official, but it sounds like it's all but done with ink on the paper at this point. And that is John Harbaugh did not stay unemployed very long. The New York Giants made a very hard push for him, and it looks like they're about to sew him up. Yeah.
Now, there's no actual numbers yet, but most people have been reporting we're talking over $100 million.
Yeah.
Pretty much guaranteed.
It's what, like a
which is
4-year deal or 5-year deal or something?
They're still discussing that, but it sounds like 4 to 5, yeah.
Yeah. That's my understanding.
That's disgusting amounts of money for a head coach.
That's a lot of money for a head coach. But considering how consistent the Ravens organization was until this season, the Giants would kill to have that level of consistency. And if they could get and considering how far he used to take teams in the AFC, imagine what he's going to do now in the NFC, where I feel like there might be just a little bit less competition.
A little less competition, and then let's not forget one thing that I think is hilarious. Look at the type of team they had at Baltimore. Now look at the type of team the Giants have. You start seeing a lot of similarities.
Only the one in the Giants is just a smidge younger.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
And when did John Harbaugh get the most out of all of his players? When they were younger.
When we were talking about this last week, we mentioned the Giants could be where he goes.
It made a lot of sense for a team that's already ready to go.
Yeah, we thought either the Giants or the Dolphins would be the two that were like the big push for him.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it turns into
the Giants made the most sense because, like, if you don't want to rebuild and you want to have a team that can be contenders tomorrow, Giants make the most sense.
And they have, what, the 5th overall pick or something?
I think it's the 5th, yeah.
4th or 5th, somewhere in there. Because I think it's the 5th. Because I think the Titans have the 4th. And the Cardinals have the 3rd. Yeah.
I believe so.
So the Giants have, like, the 5th overall pick. Good job. You get to draft really high. What do you actually draft there? A defensive tackle? Another edge to go along with the beastly edge you already have?
I'd argue if there's a top-tier corner, go for a corner. But yeah,
I would too.
Otherwise...
There's a couple of top-tier corners, and I would argue that if one of them is there, that's what you should take. But
I would, because otherwise your offense is already pretty ready to go outside of maybe if you want to beef up the O-line.
Considering the next piece of news, there may not be a top corner there, and that is Dante Moore, the presumptive number 2 overall pick, the quarterback from Oregon, has decided to return to school.
He saw what teams were looking for quarterbacks. What? Nah, I'm good.
The problem is, even if he does that, most of those teams are going to be back there next year.
Oh, I think for a different pick at that high up, though. Let's be honest. I think he's just hoping for a better pick at a different team at that high up, though.
There probably won't be. The Jets will still be.
I know,
up there.
but he's hoping. He's still hoping.
I know the Jets will be up there. Interestingly enough, John Mateer has agreed to return to Oklahoma. Again, I think there are these teams that have reputations for ruining quarterbacks that are scaring quarterbacks into staying in school just so that they won't get picked.
Which can be both good and bad.
Yes, very much can. So now I have to expect the Jets to take a corner at number 2? Or maybe a wide receiver?
Or they'll reach for a quarterback. Who knows?
Or they could reach for a quarterback, because there's several you could reach for and go, they were good last year before last. They're not terrible.
Yeah.
Or considering
with just look into free agency, Kirk Cousins is available.
Also, I believe Breece Hall is set to become a free agent. I don't know if the Jets
they're going to retain him.
Yep, and if they don't, there's this beastly running back from Notre Dame.
Guess what? I think the Cardinals are going to be looking for a quarterback too, so they might be pushing, Kyler out the door.
Maybe that they may hold on to him, or they may hold on to Brissett just as their.
I think they'll hold on to Brissett instead. Yeah.
Yeah, just as their bridge guy, and then they'll expect to be pretty bad next year, and then hopefully get in on what they hope will be.
Yeah, they might pull a Saints. Well, they might pull a Saints and go, okay, we'll grab one of the guys in the second round that might have potential, but we're not sure of. If it doesn't work out, we'll still get a high pick, and maybe Arch or one of these other guys is going to be available.
Yeah, somebody like a Garrett Nussmeier or a Drew Aller or Cade Klubnik, because all of them had really down years this year, and they were all expected to be top first round picks. This was expected to be a deep draft for quarterbacks, and it's turned into a waiting pool.
Yep, pretty much.
It's turned into a
lot of, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. Now, they might be good, you just don't know.
Exactly. Some of them got injured, some of them just didn't play well, some of them we're not sure about, and then there are some other ones further down that could be good, like Miller Moss, or Carson Beck, who's helped take Miami to the national title game.
Yep.
I don't know if he's any good or not.
Kind of weird in the regular season.
Yeah. He makes good throws, but he also makes some throws that make you go, huh?
What are you doing? Yeah.
What are you thinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of those types of guys. So he's definitely not a first rounder, but third, fourth, maybe. You take a flyer on him, see what you can get.
Yeah.
I don't know. Man. It's a weird draft just because of that.
It is. A
lot of corners, good edges, good offensive tackles. Not so in decent centers, but not so much if you need an offensive guard. You're kind of boned there. A lot of wide receivers. If you want a wide receiver, this is your draft.
I was gonna say the Jets might decide to go for a wide receiver.
There's
Well,
several
they're
of them.
good.
Carnell Tate, uh,
Mhm.
Tyson from Arizona State, Malachi Lemon,
I mean,
KJ Conception from A&M.
theoretically, if the Giants really want to shore up and get 2 young guys at wide receiver, they could do that. Grab
Oh
a wide
yeah,
receiver at 5, and then
yeah, they
we
could.
we
They
got
could
we got
grab
our offense
two.
set.
Well, I mean, they've already got Wilson though, so maybe you get a wide receiver at 2, or a corner at 2, and then a wide receiver down at 13, or pardon,
Maybe
16. Yeah,
that's
I'm not.
possible.
I don't hate that idea.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's a bad idea at all. I think that would really, really help them. They've
right.
already got 2 good tackles, so they got one last year in the draft. They got one the year before that, so their tackles are shored up. You might want to replace Elijah Vera Tucker because he doesn't seem to be able to stay healthy. You've got an okay center-ish, but there's a couple of things that they can do if they really
I think
want to.
that's honestly, I think that's what the Vikings are gonna do. I think they're gonna try to grab a center.
I agree. There's 2 or 3 that could go in the first round. I just don't know if they will due to need.
Yeah.
So I'm still hoping we can grab Jake Slaughter from Florida. I've got my kind of heart set on him as being like the top center of the draft. I really like him. Also, his name is just awesome. Slaughter!
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. It'll be interesting if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, with all that being said, I can't think of any other major NFL news right now.
Not really. Oh, I did see something fun.
Okay, what you got?
We'll have to see. We have to see how this works out because I would be shocked if this happens, but it's possible. Apparently, Sam Darnold is questionable to play against the 49ers with his oblique injury.
Yep, I heard that, but it's come out from Darnold himself, from the horse's mouth, that he expects to play no matter what.
Yeah, he expects he's going to push himself, but I think people are just basically bringing up that is worrisome because that means he's not going to be 100% for the game.
I think they only put him on the injury report because they want to rest him in practice because he doesn't really need the practice. They just want to, take care with that injury.
Yeah. No, like I said, people I think are just
surprise
worried.
me. I haven't heard if Josh Allen has appeared on the injury report, but it, again, wouldn't surprise me considering we'll get to how he looked in that game. And
I think people are, yeah. I think people are just worried about him not being at 100% playing, and that could be a reason why they don't play as well. We'll see.
Oh, we also need to talk about the injury sacrifice that the 49ers have had again. Another one.
Yeah, they have another one.
They have another one.
Injury to the injury god?
George Kittle himself is blowing his Achilles.
Yep.
What is it with these Achilles suddenly deciding they want to be the Achilles heel?
I think you just answered your own question.
Ah!
I mean, and it also sounds like it was really bad. Like they're saying it could take a full year of recovery.
Yup.
Like it wasn't like a simple one. Apparently, it exploded.
Yeah, that was my understanding. It wasn't just like, oh, it tore off the bone. Apparently, that whole sucker just went plow.
Yeah. So they're talking intensive surgery and intensive recovery.
It's the same for, I don't know what his injury is, but there's a Panthers offensive lineman, one of their tackles.
Yeah.
They're saying 6 to 12 months for his recovery. And I was like, 12 months means that he wouldn't be back unless it was for the playoffs.
Yep, pretty much.
So he may miss all of next season.
He's probably going to miss most of, if not all, next season. Yeah.
Yep. Sadly, that is accurate. So,
yep.
Yeah, lots of injuries, man. But with those out of the way, I think maybe we can do some scores.
We can talk about the games if you want to. Yeah, we can talk about the games.
Boom! Let's talk about the games. All right. Let's go ahead and start with the first one, Rams and Panthers. This was a much closer game than it should have been.
Yes, but I also think it's not necessarily surprising. The Panthers just happen to play really well against the Rams for some reason.
They do. There are certain teams that the Panthers play well to. I feel like it's something about the Panthers that's like the hard counter to how the Rams play.
I think, yeah, I was going to say, I just think it's just the way they play, the scheming and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. That all being said, the Rams did win 34-31 by getting a touchdown with 38 seconds left on the clock.
Matthew Stafford doing what Matthew Stafford does.
Matthew Stafford to Colby Parkinson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the fourth quarter alone had 4 lead changes.
Mm-hmm. That will be a common occurrence.
Gee, you think? There are only a couple of games that didn't happen. And each of those games could be considered kind of blowout-y.
They were, ultimately, by the end of the score. Yeah.
By the end of the game, yeah, they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stafford threw for 3 touchdowns and a pick. Young only had 1 in the air, but he also added 1 on the ground. Chuba Hubbard showed up again and ran for 2 touchdowns. It is said that Rico Dowdle is unhappy seeing a diminished role as Hubbard got healthier. He felt like he had played himself into a spot where he deserved at least half the carries and didn't get them. And he said that might affect what he wants to do in free agency, go to a team that maybe wants to give him more carries.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm not going to say that's a bad idea. But at any rate, Puka Nacua did Puka Nacua things, and Jalen Coker really tried to be Puka Nacua for the Panthers. Not a bad game. Now, yeah, not a bad game at all. I don't think the reffing was blatantly bad. Felt like they were fairly even, and the game played very well. I kind of wanted the Panthers.
I was gonna say I think all of the playoff games had a couple of really weird calls on occasion, but mostly they were fine.
Mostly they were fine. Yeah, there were a couple of them where you just went, huh? Okay. But nothing that you would be egregiously like, what the hell, man?
Yeah,
like
none that I would argue affected
nothing like that
the
Panthers
end
Bucks
game.
game. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nothing that I would argue really affected the game that much.
Yeah. Then we go to that evening. The Packers, and the Bears. The Packers go to Chicago and are absolutely mauling the Bears at halftime, 21-3.
Yep.
It's not even a game. You can turn it off. Bears are out, right?
No.
Wrong. You would be wrong, because the Bears would then reel off 13 unanswered points coming out of the half. And as they got close, I was watching this, Matthew Golden scored his first touchdown of the season. Didn't score one in the regular season, had to wait for the playoffs.
I was going to say, he was totally worth that first round pick, right, guys?
Right, guys? Right?
Right? Yeah.
Puts them up 27-16, and I'm like, there's 6:36 to go. This game's over. I turned it off. I would only find out later that the Bears would then score the final 2 touchdowns. One to Olamide Zaccheaus.
Yep, Zaccheaus.
And then Colston Loveland got the 2 points.
Yep.
And then the final one to who else? DJ, I have a dagger for the Packers more.
Yep.
25 yards. They left 1:43 on the clock that the Packers couldn't do anything with.
Nope.
Caleb Williams literally went 50% right down the board.
Granted, most of that completions was at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's funny because it was 24 of 48 for 361, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was literally half good and half crap.
Yep.
Love was very close to the same amount, 24-46, but he threw for 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
You cannot put this on Jordan Love. He played his
No.
butt off.
It was. I'll put it this way.
The Packers' defense literally choked.
You could argue that, but I'm going to make a different argument.
Go ahead.
Matt LaFleur, in the second half, went from putting his foot to the floor to playing to not lose.
Yep. I was going to say, LaFleur took his foot off the gas. 100%.
His play calling was atrocious in the second half.
You know what it reminded me of?
It reminds me of a lot of things, like the Vikings.
I was going to say, it reminds me of a very specific Vikings team that should have absolutely blown out the team they were playing, and instead lost because the guy who was perfect in kicking field goals all year shaped a 34-yarder.
Yeah. Classic.
1998. Rest in peace that season. The season where we should have gone to the Super Bowl.
Probably wasn't going to win it with the way we were playing, though.
No, we'd have had to. It would have been against Denver, and I don't know that we could have won that.
Probably not.
Anyway, so the Bears do win 37-21. Packers are bounced. I watch a couple of other people. I watch Tom Grossi, and I watch Annie Agar on TikTok, and they're both Packers fans, so watching them have to make videos about the Packers losing kind of schadenfreude. Like,
yep.
I feel bad for them on a personal level because we've been there as Vikings fans, but as a Vikings fan, watching a Packers fan go through it,
I don't feel bad for you.
I don't feel bad as a Vikings fan. As a person, I do. As a Vikings
you should be
fan,
happy that, well, frankly, you should be happy you even made the playoffs.
There you go. Then, moving to Sunday. First game, Bills in Jacksonville at the Jaguars. This one came, again, wire to wire, like, was interesting. Despite the fact that the halftime score was 10-7.
I was going to say, Josh Allen put himself on the fucking line to win that game.
Yes. So, early in the game, he banged his hand off of his own offensive lineman's helmet.
Yep.
You could tell it was hurting him to throw the ball. You could tell.
The minute he threw the ball, he was like, "Oh, my hand!"
Constantly shaking his hand, like shaking it out, like ah.
That hurts.
Then
that
he
don't feel good.
Twisted the crap out of his knee right before halftime. 5 minutes to go before halftime on a 2-yard rush to get into the end zone to take the lead. It was he put himself through the ringer.
Yeah.
There was one point where I think he got pulled off the field because they thought maybe he had a concussion. Josh beat the crap out of himself to win that game, and in the end, he won it with a 1-yard rush with 1:04 to go. And what really sealed it was maybe the Jaguars have enough time to come back. Trevor Lawrence goes out, but not his fault. Ball bounces off the hands of his receiver.
Yeah.
Winds up directly in the Bills' arms.
Yep.
That was not on Trevor. He threw a
No, I know, but it's going to still be showing up as a pick, and it was just like, really? Fucking hell.
Yeah, but they played a really good game. They played a really, really good season this year. So we'll have to see what they do next year, and if the harder schedule, because we all know that they base schedules off of what you did the year prior, right?
Yeah.
So because they made the playoffs, they'll have a bit of a... They're supposed to have a
little bit harder
schedule.
No, to be fair, though, like, here's one thing I always look at with that. First-year head coach. Dude, I mean, Liam Cohen obviously immediately turned that whole entire fucking franchise around in one fucking year.
Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, those two guys should be AFC and NFC Coach of the Year.
Mike Vrabel.
Vrabel also has to be considered for what he did with the Patriots, but yeah, there's.
I think you could argue the Jacksonville job was harder to turn around, and he did instantly. I agree, but people are going to bring up the fact that Vrabel's still in the competition, so
Yeah, but I think the NFC Coach of the Year is sewn up at this point. I don't think there's a question that that's
No,
Ben
it's
Johnson.
definitely Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think without Ben Johnson, I would actually give it to probably Kyle Shanahan just because making that
Yes.
team competitive with all of the injuries they have is insane.
Yes.
But I think because first year head coach Ben Johnson, perennially bad team, made playoffs, won a playoff game. I mean, listen, Ben Johnson, first year head coach, won a playoff game already. Look at how many coaches are considered successful that still haven't won a fucking playoff game.
But the Bills do win that 27-24.
Mm-hmm.
Good game though, especially the second half. The first half was boring. The third quarter got a little better, and then the fourth quarter it was just bing, 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 bing. You were like, oh my god.
Yep.
Then we move on. San Francisco travels to Philadelphia.
Very defensive game. For the
Very
most part,
defensive game, and Christian McCaffrey kicks the Eagles in the fork.
Eventually. It just took him a little bit.
Took him a little bit to get going. I mean, the very first big play of the game happened on literally the first play of the game from Frisco. I forget who they found, but they literally got like 57 yards out of it.
Yeah.
They would score on that.
I'm trying to remember. I saw a weird stat, but I can't remember which one it was. Oh God, it was like because didn't Jennings throw another touchdown pass? He threw a touchdown pass.
Yes, Jawan Jennings threw a touchdown pass to Christian
And
McCaffrey.
so he's did one before too. So he's gotten 2 touchdown passes in the playoffs. And I thought it was I forget which team it was, but there was like one quarterback that's like supposed to be like kind of good, but it was like against Aaron Rodgers. Like it's like, oh, hasn't thrown in picks and 2 touchdowns. Jawan Jennings is better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. It's like, oh, okay, hold on. Hold on. I get it, but Aaron Rodgers is
my favorite odd stat going around is the quarterback who is currently an active. He was an active player, but he is no longer an active player, but he is active in the NFL. Who has 5 more rushing yards than I want to say it's. Was it Bo Jackson or Herschel Walker? One of those guys like that. And it's Jim Harbaugh.
I mean, yeah, I could see it.
It's funny to me, stuff like that. Because John didn't know. They were interviewing John for it, and John was like, oh gosh, I can't. Wait, is it Jim? Is it my brother? Very underrated. Underrated runner. But yeah, talking back to the 49ers-Eagles game, this game did, again, come down to the fourth quarter. Very defensive game. Each team scored in the first and the second and the third. Well, no, the Eagles were the only ones to score in the third. And then Frisco scored twice in the fourth and wound up winning the game. What really helped kill the Eagles was after their first touchdown, Jake Elliott bonked the PAT.
Yep. Whoopsies.
Whoopsies.
Yep.
1 point would not have helped them, but, you know.
No, but still, it was kind of funny.
Yeah. In the end, it was all... also, Eddie Pinheiro missed the PAT for the Niners at the end of the game. You're like, what the crap?
Not like it really mattered, but it was still kind of funny.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Purdy with 262 yards through 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. McCaffrey only had 48 on the ground, but he did pretty well through the air and got 2 touchdowns through the air.
Well, he had to go through the air because they were shutting him down very obviously with his running game.
The Eagles
he had to go to the other way.
The Eagles defense played incredibly well. The Eagles offense needed work.
Maybe that's why the ROC finally got fired.
All right. Then we had a game that I thought would be closer and wasn't.
No.
This was one of the blowouts. Chargers travel to New England. Get there. They turns out Omarion Hampton played like 3 snaps and took himself out of the game.
Yep.
Apparently his knee was not good to go. He did not
Nope.
feel right running on it. So he just said, I can't do this. That really screwed over the Chargers offense, in my opinion, because Justin Herbert had to be the leading rusher for them with 57 yards. And that should tell you how that game went.
Yep.
Drake May threw for 268.
I was going to say, can you tell me how many touchdown passes Justin Herbert threw in that game?
0.
Oh, wow.
Drake May only threw for 1. Everything else was a field goal.
Yep.
And Drake May waited until the 4th quarter to throw his touchdown pass.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The Chargers did have a very good defense that did make it difficult, but it when the Chargers couldn't put any points on the board. Yeah.
Oh, one other thing: Chargers linebackers coach has stepped away from football. Navarro Bowman, who you might remember was a 49er and played under Jim Harbaugh.
Yep. Excuse me.
So, yeah, the Patriots do win that 16-3. It was not a great game by them by any stretch of the imagination, and now
Didn't have to be, though.
We'll tell you who they're going to run into, and I don't think it's going to be good for them.
I might be in a differing opinion, but we'll see.
Well, considering that we might just have watched the last game that Aaron Rodgers will ever play.
Maybe.
I don't know. He's
you never know with that dude. You never know.
He's turning into Brett Favre, man.
We've said that for the past 4 years. That maybe this is the year he retires. Maybe this is the year. This is the year.
At the beginning of this year, he kind of put it out that he was kind of going to be done after this.
He said he planned on this being his last, but
Brett Favre got famous for, I don't know. We'll see.
Pretty much.
We do have a retirement to announce, and we'll do that here in a minute.
Well, we got a couple of retirements, actually, but yeah.
I only know about 1 right now.
I know 2 specifically.
I know 1. Anyway.
Oh, 3, actually. I know 3.
3? I only know of the 1.
Well, 1's been officially confirmed. The other 2 are very likely coming soon.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of know the other 2. We talked about that a little bit. But 1 officially did drop. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, 1 officially did drop,
Yeah. At any rate, we need to talk about the Texans traveling to Pittsburgh and placing one of the league's best defenses against the Steelers. What would happen? Well, it would turn out that the Steelers couldn't move the ball worth crap.
I wonder why.
Nobody could catch. Rodgers didn't have time to throw. The first touchdown was from C.J. Stroud to Christian Kirk. The problem was, the only reason this game didn't get more out of hand was because C.J. Stroud kept fumbling the damn football.
Butterfingers.
He had Butterfingers bad.
Yeah, I was going to say that if you look at the score, like, you might be like, wow, the Texans smashed them. It was more like the Texans defense smashed them because their Texans offense wasn't bad, but it was certainly not good.
Well, all of they got 1 touchdown in the second quarter. Nobody scored in the third. And then it was all Texans in the fourth with a field goal. And then 2 of the touchdowns, they got 3 touchdowns. 2 of them came from the defense.
That's what I'm saying. It was pretty much the Texans
defense. With a 33-yard fumble return after they sacked Rodgers and stripped him.
Yep.
And then Kalen Bullock with a 50-yard interception.
Yep.
That's how Rodgers is going to go out with a pick 6. Because after that, they benched him for Mason Rudolph.
Yep. Not like it mattered. The game was done at that point anyways.
Oh, yeah, the game was done at that point.
Yep.
In the end, Woody Marks had 112 yards and a touchdown. Christian Kirk had 144 yards and a touchdown. Stroud threw for 250 with a touchdown and a pick. 100 more yards than Rodgers, but he also added a touchdown where Rodgers only had the pick. Yeah, DK Metcalf only caught 2 balls for 42 yards. Everybody's like, oh, DK will be back. We'll be fine. Yeah, that worked out well for you, didn't it?
Yep.
I watched some of that game, and watching Houston, there was one point at which one of the Houston defensive linemen literally put the offensive tackle on his back, just bowled right over him.
Yep.
I was like, ugh, Rodgers has got no time to throw. This is bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Texans win 30-6.
Yeah.
30-6. That is not good. All right.
You want to do something fun?
Yeah, sure. Let's do something fun.
All right. I created a little fun segment that I'm calling "Is it hot or is it whack?" And basically, I have two categories that I'm going to go through. They're kind of
Oh,
going to swap back and forth.
real quick.
And, hmm? Oh, you want to talk about the retirement real quick?
Yep, let's do that real quick. Vikings legend, and we can officially call him that now, Adam Thielen, has dropped his retirement.
Yep.
Uh,
Shocker.
yeah, he ended up fourth all time in receptions in Vikings history behind Chris Carter, Randy Moss, and Justin Jefferson. Two Hall of Famers and a dude on his way to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I don't think Thielen will make the Hall of Fame. He's got a
Yeah.
case. He's got a case,
got a
but
case.
it's a
It's
slim
more
one.
likely that he'll end up in the Vikings Hall of Fame
Oh,
specifically,
he'll
not.
definitely end up in our Ring of Honor. Which, why do we call it the
Yeah.
Ring of Honor? We could build another wing on the Vikings facility and call it Valhalla.
That's terrible.
My wife said the same thing, but I like it.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Anyways,
As we were saying, hot or whack.
we're doing hot or whack, and I have two categories that I'll be swapping back and forth. One of them will be current player nicknames, deciding if you think they're hot or whack. And so I didn't even put down, and you'll have to guess who the player it is. I don't think that'll be very difficult for most of them. And then the second category that I'll swap back and forth is choices for coaches, or where coaches will land, basically. Predictions
Gotcha.
on coaches where they'll land, and if you think that's hot or if you think it'll be whack. So for the very first one, I went with probably one of the easiest choices. It's a player nickname, Nine.
That's just whack. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Jeez, do you know who represents that nickname?
JJ, man. 9? Are you kidding me? Come on.
Oh, fucking! It was funny. I was actually looking up for like current player nicknames, and there is not a single website that is actually saying that's going to be his nickname because it's so bad. No one wants to. Everyone's like, "No, dude, that's not your nickname. Fuck off."
No. You can't. The thing is, you cannot nickname yourself.
No, exactly. That's why it's like that's so dumb. All right. Now for number two, this is a coaching choice, one that has already happened, but at the time I read it, I wasn't sure. Harbaugh to the Giants, is that hot or is that whack?
That's hot, obviously. There's fire and smoke there right now. He's obviously going to be a Giant, and we like when you wrote that you didn't know, but we know now.
No,
and I
yeah.
still would have said that's hot because
Hey, silly bird.
that team looks a lot like a young Ravens team.
Yeah, it does. It very much does. All right. Number three. It's a Drake May.
Whack! Whoever came up with Drake May May?
Drake May.
Or
Uh,
Drake May?
it's terrible.
It's
No matter how
terrible.
you do
However you do that, no.
it. It's funny, but it's bad. Let's be honest.
Come on. The only way that it gets worse is if you go Drake Mother May I.
That's still, yeah, that's pretty bad too.
That's terrible. Yeah, that's the idea. Come
Yep.
on now.
All right. Next one is coaching choice. Kevin Stefanski to the Titans? Is that hot or is that whack?
That's a little harder.
Yep. The coach ones are going to be definitely harder.
Some of these are going to be harder.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
you know what? I'm going to go with whack.
Ooh, all right. Do you got a reason why?
He's already come out of one franchise had that's a badly run organization, and the Titans haven't made a good decision since Amy Adams Strunk helped fire Mike Vrabel. I don't
I'll
have
give you
any
that.
trust. I don't have any trust in the office of that organization, and I think after dealing with Haslam and the front office of the Browns, I just think Stefanski's looking for something a little more solid.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, back to nicknames. Captain Kirk.
You know what? I'm going to go with hot. I like Captain Kirk.
You like Captain Kirk? Do you know which player has that? I
That's
assume you do.
obviously Kirk Cousins, baby.
That's Kirk O'Chain Cousins. Yep.
Yep. While I do like Kirk 3 chains, that's a little
Kirk
whack, but I
O'Chain.
like it. Captain Kirk. When he's on and he's firing on all cylinders, Captain Kirk works.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, coaching choice. Mike McCarthy to the Steelers. Is it hot or is it whack?
I'm going to go with hot. I've
Ooh,
seen
okay.
people say that you don't do that because he reminds you too much of what you just lost, which is Tomlin. Are you just looking for more 9-8? But he actually had a really good regular season record.
Oh yeah.
And I think I think he could really help the Pittsburgh organization. The problem's going to be he's a defensive minded guy again. Are you keeping Arthur Smith? Because if so, you might as well just go ahead and shoot yourself in the head now.
True. True. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Two player nicknames. Action Jackson.
Was that Bo and I can't think of the other one that would have been Action Jackson.
Remember, they're all current players.
Oh. What do I know that's a player whose last name is Jackson? I mean, it's a hot nickname, sure, because it rhymes. But I can't think of the players that would have it.
Lamar.
Okay. Okay.
Hot or
I
whack,
would,
though? You said hot, right? You said
uh,
hot, right?
yeah, hot.
Hot.
I would prefer L-Jack because that sounds cooler to me. But
Fair enough.
Lamar Action Jackson, that fits because, yeah.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
I prefer L-Jack
right.
in my opinion, but that's
Fair
just
enough.
me.
I get it. I get it. I get it. Coach choice. Mike McDaniel to the Eagles. Obviously as OC, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, that's hot, especially if they decide to fire if he doesn't produce next year or the year after, if they get rid of Sirianni because he keeps punching receivers on the sideline.
Or arguing with them, whichever one it may be.
So if Sirianni embarrasses the organization enough, at least you know you have a guy that can immediately you can promote. So
Yep.
I'll say hot. I think he would do a great job with what they have in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, dude obviously loves speed and he can
If
and
he
knows how
doesn't
to
want to be
scheme
a
up
head
speed.
coach and he
Yeah.
wants to be an OC still, yeah, that's hot.
All right, fair enough. Brees Lightning.
That's Brees Hall, and nah, that's whack.
You know where it comes from, right?
Grease Lightning, yeah, I've
Yeah,
watched way
yeah,
too
yeah.
much Grease. Okay,
I'll catch I soon, but I wasn't sure.
my mom and
Don't
my
like it, huh?
sister, my mom and my sister are obsessed with that movie.
Our mom is
That
too. Yeah.
that and Titanic, and I just no, I've seen it too much. Can't handle it.
Not a big fan of the naming scheme. I mean, it kind of works.
It works, but I still don't like it.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. All
That's
right,
like
coaching
calling him.
choice.
That's like calling him Brees Kids in the Hall. Come on now.
Funnier though. That's kind of funny.
That is kind of fun. If anybody remembers
all right.
the old show Kids in the Hall.
Exactly. All right, coaching choice. Cliff Kingsbury to the Ravens? Is that hot or is that whack?
I'm not going to discount it, so I'm going to go with hot. I think it's a mistake. But are the Ravens maybe thinking about it? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Apparently they've already requested to interview him, so.
Yep, that's one they've requested. So we'll have to see if that's where he winds up. It makes some sense due to the fact that, like, you've got a mobile quarterback and he just did good things with a mobile quarterback and yada, 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 yada. So there's enough there.
And their air raid offense that he tends to run kind of seems like it'll fit that system that they do.
Yeah.
They have a lot of speedsters that just go way down the field, chuck it up there and let them get it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Zay Flowers,
yeah.
you know?
I think that would work with him, provided that his attitude has changed.
Well, that, and then he'd have to have a really good defensive coordinator, because he can't do defenses worth of shit.
He can't do defense to save his life.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Nicknames. Danny Dimes.
That's hot. I love me some Danny Dimes.
I'm sure you know who that is. I'm sure.
Yeah. That's everybody's favorite quarterback from the Colts until he tore his ACL and broke his leg.
Broke his leg. Yeah. All right, back to coaching choices. Jonathan Gannon to the Cowboys.
As OC?
DC.
DC, pardon.
Yeah, because they just got rid of their DC.
Yeah, Eberflus. Bye. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm not going to discount it. I'm going to say that's hot. I really think that Gannon has a good mind for the defensive side of the ball, and I don't think he was a terrible head coach. And I think putting him back in a coordinator role can only help raise his stock again, and I think he's smart enough to see that.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, back to nicknames. Iceman.
Okay, the only
I was
Iceman
gonna say I don't think you'll know who that is. I was gonna say I don't think you know who's being called that.
The only Iceman that I know of is a former UFC fighter named Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell, yep.
He used to be called the Iceman.
Yep.
And then there were some wrestlers that were Icemen, like there was Iceman King Parsons.
Yep.
I have no idea who that is.
Is it a good nickname, though? Is it hot or whack?
I mean, it could be, depending on who the nickname is on.
All right, I'll tell you.
Is it Joe Burrow?
No, that's Joe Cool.
Yeah, I figured that would be Joe Cool.
Iceman is actually Caleb Williams.
Nah, now it's whack.
Because the reason why they say it is because he's got ice in his veins at the end of the games. That's why he wins them.
No.
And to be fair, he showed that in the fourth quarter of this last game, so I get it.
But no, I still don't. There's got to be a better nickname for him.
All right, fair enough. All right. Coaching choice. Arthur Smith to the Cardinals.
They deserve each other, but it's still whack. Arthur Smith
absolutely whack. That's awful.
Arthur Smith should not be coaching anything beyond high school.
Dude, I could totally see the Cardinals doing it, though.
I could see the Cardinals doing it, and they deserve each other, but no. Terrible choice.
Apparently, they actually interviewed him. I couldn't believe it. They're requesting to interview him.
Apparently, the Steelers have interviewed him, too.
Yep. Oh, God, hilarious. All right. Player nicknames, King Henry.
Obviously, that's hot. Come on now.
I was going to say, that's an easy one. That's hot as hell, dude.
Henry, King Henry, that's hot. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
All right. Got another coaching choice for you.
So, changed the setup. My other camera died.
Shit happens.
Oops, should have charged it before the podcast.
It probably should have, but it happens. You ready to continue?
Yes.
All right, all right. So back to coaching changes. Matt Nagy to the Raiders.
That's whack, but I won't put it past them.
I would not be shocked. Apparently, they also requested to interview him, so yeah.
Well, so did the Titans. And again, that's another one I wouldn't put it past them.
True, true. All right, player nicknames. Mad Max.
Max Double X Crosby.
Max Double X Crosby.
I prefer Double X, but
Fair enough. Fair.
no, that's still hot. Mad Max works because he plays angry.
Yep, yep, exactly. That's where I think it started one from first. Yep.
Yep.
All right, coaching change. Clint Kubiak to the Dolphins.
I keep hearing Kubiak, and I don't like him to the Dolphins. And in fact,
Ooh.
I kind of want him to do another season as OC before he gets a head coaching job. What I think the Dolphins are going to do is bring in Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula.
Could be. Could be.
After all, there's a legacy.
No,
there,
I know.
son.
I get it. I get it.
There's a legacy.
So you're calling that whack, huh? You're calling
I'm
that
going to
whack?
call that whack. I'm not going to say it would be bad. Just
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. I'm not fully
Not
sold
feeling
on
it.
Kubiak, and
Yeah.
I know he's probably going to get a head coaching job somewhere, but I feel like the Dolphins need to do something that tells their fans they care. So I think they're going to go with Shula. I still think
Maybe.
Kubiak will get a
Yeah.
job as a head coach with one of these teams. I just don't know which one, and I'm not fully on board. I think he needs another season as an OC first,
All right, fair enough.
but that's just me.
What? Fair enough. Player nicknames. The Winter Soldier.
Who the fuck would be named that?
Good
Honestly,
question.
honestly, considering he plays in New England, that might be better for Drake May.
I'll give you a hint. It is another player that's over in that area. That should narrow it down pretty easily, actually, in my
Did
opinion.
they call that Josh Allen?
Josh Allen's the Winter Soldier.
I don't know. The nickname is hot. I just don't know if it fits Josh Allen.
I mean, to be fair, think about it. That team is sink or swim with Josh Allen. Winter Soldier actually kind of does make some sense.
I get it. I don't know. Like, that feels better for, like, Drake May, and Josh Allen needs some sort of, like, bruising nickname, because he's such a giant quarterback.
Yeah, so is the Winter Soldier. Big dude.
Nah.
All right, fair enough. And for the final coaching change, which is one that I could totally see happening just because this organization loves to just let everyone down. Jim Schwartz becomes the head coach of the Browns. He's their current defensive coordinator.
You know what? That wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to call it whack, but honestly, their defense has been the only thing to write home about.
Exactly.
But I do believe the last time he had a head coaching gig, it did not go very well for him.
No, it did not.
I believe it was in Detroit, wasn't it?
Was it Detroit? It might have been. I
Was
don't
he the
remember
guy that,
for
that
sure.
went 0-16 in Detroit?
Was it him? I don't remember if it was him or not. Not gonna lie, it might have been.
All
Yeah.
I know is that I remember the last time he had a head coaching gig, it did not end up going well.
No, it did not. But like I said, I could see the Browns doing the Browns thing and just be like, we're not going to pay anybody that much. Well, we'll bring in Jim Schwartz. Fuck it.
You know what? That would be the Browns thing to do too. Horrible.
All right,
idea.
that was the final one.
Yep, horrible idea though.
I agree.
Horrible idea. All right. Do we have anything else that we want to do today? Oh yeah.
I mean, we still can do game ball, showers, potatoes, and then we still have to do our predictions.
Yeah.
I know we're not doing really a top 10, which is why You know,
Yeah,
I
no,
figured
we're
you'd
not doing a top
throw
10.
throw
But
a rando segment in there for the funsies of it.
let's do some game balls. You can start,
All
good
right,
sir.
easy one. Puka Nakua game ball. I
Yep.
mean,
You know what?
without Puka, that game is going to be pretty hard to win.
Josh Allen, game ball. Your stats
Fair
weren't
enough.
amazing, but God, did you go through hell to get that W?
Fair enough. To me, when I hear Iceman, I don't think Caleb. I think Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland gets a game ball. That dude is made of ice.
Got great hands when it counts.
Yep. Most of the time.
You know what? I'm going to give a game ball. This is the first one I think I've done this year. I'm going to give it to an entire group. Texans defense.
You bitch! That was my next one.
The Texans defense gets a game ball. God damn, did you guys take it to Aaron Rodgers?
For sure. Yeah, no, that was huge from them for sure. Um, yeah, since you already took Texas defense, I'll go ahead and I'll give a game ball to Christian McCaffrey. He had a good game. Without him kind of going off in that receiving, I think they might have a harder time winning that game.
And you know what? Despite all of that, he was on my list. But the last one I'm going to give my game ball to, you know what? You throw 4 touchdowns in a game and you put your team in a position to win, and your coach chokes it away for you. Jordan Love, you still get the game ball.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right. Let's tell some people to hit the shower, shall we?
Sure.
Aaron
We can
Rodgers.
do that.
Aaron Rodgers, hit the showers.
That was my first one too, damn it. Oh. All right. Matt LaFleur. Hit the showers, bud. That was awful play calling.
AJ Brown, hit the showers.
I know this has already had happened, but you know what? Greg Roman, I think you need to stay in that shower for a little longer. I think that play calling was atrocious, dude.
The Chargers offensive line, all of you get in the shower.
Yeah, that was not great. I'll give you that. Oh, that was
Well,
not
Greg
great.
Rowan shares some of the blame, so do you.
True.
I also believe they did fire their O-line coach.
I don't remember if they did or didn't.
I think they did.
Man, decisions. Because you took the one of them that I was going to do. So I don't. I'm just gonna. I don't know who it happened to, and I'm too lazy to go look it up. Whichever receiver popped that ball up for the Jacksonville for that last interception. I don't know if it was Parker Washington or if it was somebody else. Whoever it was, I think it was Washington, and my brain keeps going back to that. If it was Parker Washington, hit the showers. Whoever it was, hit the showers. I mean,
bad.
It was a very catchable ball. You shouldn't have popped it up. That was bad.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, that's balls and showers, and next week we got the divisional week.
We got potatoes still, bud.
You want to do some potatoes?
I got some potatoes. Do you got some potatoes?
I got at least one potato.
I got 3 potatoes.
All right, I got at least one.
All right.
Maybe I can
I'll
come
go
up with
first
some.
then.
Yeah, maybe I can come up with some while you're doing yours.
All right. I'm in no particular order because some of these are going to be really easy and some of them are going to be really hard. Maybe, just maybe, Aaron Rodgers doesn't retire.
Yeah, I might eat half of that. Just like Aaron Rodgers waffles on whether or not he is going to retire.
Exactly. I have a high feeling that if he's going to, it's probably going to be this year, but you never know. You never know.
On that subject, this isn't the one I had originally, so this is just one I'm coming up with on my head. Maybe, just maybe, Travis Kelce's not going to retire until he wins another Super Bowl.
Man, I mean, if he wants to wait until he's 55, I mean... No, I get it. Does he want this to be the final one? But I think at the same time, it sounds like he wants to spend more time with his... Are they now engaged?
They are.
His fiance now?
They are.
Um,
He popped the question, gave her the ring.
Yeah, so I think he wants to spend more time with his soon-to-be wife, and I think it sounds like she kind of wants it. Not that she doesn't want him to stop playing, but like more like she's got other plans and they don't want to be away from each other that much all the time, kind of thing. So when she wants to tour, he's gonna want to go with her rather than having to stay back
And then
and
we've already
prepare for
seen that
football.
when he
So
goes out on tour with her, she puts him in the act.
yeah, yeah. Not all the times, but she will. So I think it's possible they have that discussion and he decides to try it one last time, but I have a feeling if it's not this year, it's going to be next year because like
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to be necessarily until he wins the Super Bowl, and that's the part where I'm going to hold back off. But it's possible he doesn't decide to retire this year. That
because
is
it was
true.
just
That
such
is
a
possible.
disappointing year.
It was such a disappointing year. I think if he makes playoffs again, I think he'd be happy.
Yeah, I think if he makes
Personally.
playoffs and the Chiefs look decent, and then he could say he gave it
Yeah.
his all, kind of like what
Yeah.
Jason did.
Especially after this year being kind of a really bum year for him. Like, let's be honest, he did not play very well this year. And I think he kind of wants, I don't think he wants to end his season on such a bad year,
I agree.
or his career on a bad year. So we'll see.
Yeah, I
We'll see.
agree. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like 50-50 on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly. But he made playoffs. It wasn't a great game, but like most of the year was kind of up and down. That's why I'm like, I could see him still deciding to retire on that because it wasn't as bad as like the Jets
Yeah,
year in
it
comparison, right?
wasn't terrible.
All right. Maybe, just maybe, the Raiders are still going to be a dog shit organization next year.
100%. I'm gonna eat that. There's no question in my mind. It doesn't matter who they hire to coach that thing. I
Doesn't
think
matter what quarterback
the
they get.
problem
Doesn't
that
matter
I
what
have
coach
is
they get.
I don't think Tom Brady is a good owner. Uh,
I think he's got a lot of good ideas. I think the problem is he's just not been in that on that side of the business long enough to really know when he should meddle and when he shouldn't.
that's the problem. And if you're learning it from Mark Davis, I don't think you're learning.
No, I don't think so either.
Now there are better people to learn from, and
Uh,
you picked the worst one or one of the worst
yeah,
ones. The
one
only
of the
way it
worst
gets
ones.
worse is maybe Jerry Jones.
Definitely Jerry Jones would be worse. Definitely Jerry Jones would be worse. Oh,
Um,
excuse me.
maybe, just maybe, the Giants bringing in Harbaugh makes them contenders in the East next year.
I don't necessarily agree with that, and here's why. I think I've already said that they're contenders despite having Harbaugh. I don't think having Harbaugh makes them more contenders than previously before. I do think it means that they have a much better chance to not fail the contention. I think he's gonna be able to keep them fairly sustainable as long as there's no bad injuries. Um, so I'm kind of iffy on the wording of it, but I do think John Harbaugh brings a consistency that will be with that team at least. Like kind of what you're getting with a John Harbaugh, right? Like you kind of know what's going to be expected. Um, so I'll say it'll keep them from really screwing the pooch. So I guess I can kind of agree with that. I'll kind of half eat that.
All right.
Um, but speaking of, my last and final potato, and one I imagine you're going to spit in my face because it's so disrespectful. Maybe, just maybe, John Harbaugh will not be good for the Giants.
Now I'm not taking that at all. I'm not going to spit it in your face, but I'll say I'll pass on that. Um, I think he brings something that the Giants need. Now the big question is going to be John is used to having a lot of control, and
Yes.
how much are the Giants going to give him?
Well, knowing who they have as their GM, I imagine not nearly as much as he'd like.
That's part of the problem, and so I don't know if I don't know if we're going to figure out if he could be good for them or not. Uh,
Right.
and I think that may be something in the contract that they're dealing with is
Potentially. Oh, that's potentially.
levels of control, drafts, players,
Yeah.
roster construction, who has
Yeah,
control
that's
over
definitely
what.
possible.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's going to be the primary bones of that. I
Fair.
wasn't able to come up with a third, so
No, fair enough.
yep. Anything else? I mean, I do have an NHL Power Rankings.
Well, we still got to
Oh yeah,
do
we got to do
predictions.
next week.
Yeah, we still got to do our next week predictions. And then because of the fact that, I mean, we might as well push all of our predictions just straight up all the way to the Super Bowl, I think, at this point.
Well,
Just
we
because,
100% we can't per se.
well, we can.
We can
If we can make our,
guess.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We might as well just guess it all the way through and just see what happens.
Yeah, we can, but I mean, obviously, we'll have to go week by week still.
Yeah, we can. I'm just saying it'll be easier to see if how good of our predictions are going to be going forward at this point.
Yeah.
Wildcard being done divisional, I find to be significantly easier to make pretty good matchups that you think would make the most sense.
Well, we're already doing divisional this week, and then we'll do.
No, I know. And then
We'll
you,
do.
then you
Yeah,
go to
we'll figure
conference and
out.
then
Yeah,
Super
we'll
Bowl.
figure
Yeah,
out what we can think about that. All right.
that seems to be a common YouTube thing is to guess all the way through. So we
All
might
right.
as well just we'll
Might
see
as
how good
well.
of our
Might as well
predictions are.
jump in on the trend.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna start Bills at Broncos.
Listen, I like the Bills a lot, but I feel like Josh Allen being what he is and how I don't know how 100% he's going to be after all the injuries. Broncos are going to be fresh. That defense is mean. I just don't see it being an easy game. I'm taking Broncos.
I will take Josh Superman Allen and the Bills.
Winter Soldier.
Fuck that Superman. Boo 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 boo. Let me put on that cape.
Right.
49ers at Seahawks.
Realistically, the 49ers have a really good chance, but I think with all of the injuries, it's going to finally catch up to them. I do think the Seahawks are winning that
I
game.
agree with you 100%. I think as good as they've been playing, now they don't have Kittle as well. This is going to hurt. Warner
Yeah,
is still out. They did not get him back. Um, so I think that's going to be one of the key turning points.
right.
Texans at Patriots.
So here's my thing with this game. I think this is going to be a closer game to what you thought the Chargers Patriots game was going to be. I think the Texans defense is going to really try to obliterate the line of the Patriots. But that Patriots offense is so good, and their defense is no slouch. Let's be honest. Mike Vrabel knows how to coach a defense. And I think with the way the Texans offense has been playing, I think they're going to try to take advantage of that. Let's be honest. The Steelers did not take advantage of nearly half of those fumbles that CJ Stroud had. The Patriots will not make that same mistake. So I think this is a really close game, but unfortunately, I still have to give it to the Patriots. I just think they're going to find a way to win that game.
I'm going to go with the Texans on this one. I think that defense is going to cause Drake May to run around for his life, and in the end of it, after all, the Chargers defense held him to 16 points.
Well, that's
I
true,
think
but
they
the
could
Chargers
hold him.
defense is pretty good too.
Yeah, but I think that the Texans defense could hold him to even less. And unlike the Chargers defense, which didn't score, the Texans defense we know can and will.
Mm,
There's no may about it.
terrible.
Sorry,
Wrong team.
It's that kind of day.
Wrong team, anyways.
Finally, Rams at Bears.
It would be fun to see the Bears move on just because of that underdog story, but I think their story ends against the Rams. I think this is more the Stafford storyline now at this point. I just think the Rams find a way to win this game.
I agree with you. If the Bears play like they did against Green Bay, the Rams are going to build such a lead, and McVay is not known for taking his foot off the gas.
No, if anything, he's known for putting down harder.
Yep. So if you don't come out and fire on all cylinders to start the game, he's gonna punish you.
Yep.
You're not gonna be able to do what you did against Green Bay, and I think the Rams are going to to really be out for blood in this game.
100%.
All right, so that would mean you have the Broncos, the Patriots going to Denver to face the Broncos.
That would be correct. I think that's gonna be that would be one hell of a game because again we're having a really tough defense going up against an O line that's not as great, but you got the Patriots that have a definitely more high powered offense over the Broncos, but the Broncos just finding ways to win. Ugh. That's tough, man. That's tough. I think if I were to choose who would more likely make the Super Bowl at that point, I would say at that point we're looking at a Sean Payton offense. I think he finds a way to still win that game. I think Broncos do move on. In your case, I think you have Texans going up against the Broncos, correct?
No, Bills.
Oh, you had the Bills taking that, so you have
Yeah.
Texans going up against the Bills.
And I don't remember who's got the higher seed, so I don't know which way where that game would be played.
Um, Bills had to come in. Did the Bills didn't win their division, but the Texans did.
No,
So
they
it'd be
didn't.
Bills
The
at
Texans did not win their division because they're in the same division.
Oh, that's
as
right.
the
That was
Jags.
Jacksonville. Yeah.
So both of them are
I
wild
think
card teams.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I don't remember who was 5 and
Who was 5
6.
and who was 6? I think it would have been Bills higher because the Bills had more wins.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be Texans at Bills.
I think it would be Texans at Bills.
So
yeah.
you're taking the Broncos?
I would take the Broncos, yes.
All right, against the Pats?
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to be, for me, it's Texans at Bills. Ah, God.
Normally, I would say home field advantage doesn't mean much, but for some reason with the Bills Stadium,
yeah, I'm going to give that to the Bills. Just there's something about it being the Bills Stadium, about it being their last year there, about Josh Allen being Josh Allen. He's also more mobile than the other quarterbacks they're going to face. So that Texas defense is going to be nasty, but I think Josh Allen will still find a way to put on the Superman cape and drag the Bills to victory.
Okay.
Then we both have the same second one here. It's going to be Rams at Seahawks.
The rematch of the century. Man, that's going to be a hard-fought game again. As long as the refs get the fuck out of the way, I think the Rams have a real chance at winning that game. I think I'm taking the Rams.
You know what? I agree with you. I would take the Rams in that game too, which means your Super Bowl is going to be Broncos and Rams.
Yep, Broncos Rams would be my Super Bowl. If I had to choose who would win that game, I think it would be a good game, but I do think, Rams been there, done that. I think they have a higher chance at winning that game.
And mine is going to be Bills Rams.
Bills Rams, yep.
And you know what? As much as you can say been there, done that, I don't know. With a couple of weeks to get healthy, because there's always a couple of weeks between the end of the playoffs and the Super Bowl, I think Josh Allen has a real chance to take that if he wants it.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'll give it to the Bills.
Then we get to compare how accurate we're going to be next week.
Oh, God, I think we're going to both be fucked.
That happened last year when we did that. So
yeah, it did. It did.
I don't know. I predicted all of the wild card games to go correctly, just maybe not in the way I expected, but I got them all right. You never know.
That is very true. That is very, very true. All right. With that out of the way, let me do an NHL power ranking, and then we'll close it down for the week.
Yeah.
All right. So there have been some fall-offs. This first team, even though they are currently second overall in the standings, they are 10th on my power list because in their last 10 games, they are 2-5-3. And that's the Dallas Stars with 63 points. They have been nothing but dog poop over the past week. They are bad.
Yeah.
Number 9, moving back up onto the list, the Boston Bruins with 56 points. They're actually riding, I believe, a 5 or 6 game win streak right now.
Very nice.
Number 8, having dropped precipitously, the Minnesota Wild with 61 points, considering they lost their last 2 games. And it's not just that they lost, it's that they got their heads kicked in by the New Jersey Devils, who are not even on this list, 5-2, and the Winnipeg Jets, who have been the worst team in the NHL over the past couple of weeks, 6-2. Yeah. Didn't look like they were in either of those games at any point.
Badness.
Yes. So you better get your act together, Minnesota. You could find yourself off this list very quick, despite having a stellar stellar month or two. Number 7, the Carolina Hurricanes with 60 points. They're doing enough to stick around. Number 6, moving up a little bit, the Buffalo Sabres, still only 56 points, but they still, I want to say they're 8-0-2 in their last 10. They're really, really good all of a sudden. Number 5, the Montreal Canadiens with 59 points. Number 4, the Detroit Red Wings with 60 points. Number 3, riding what I think is a 7-game win streak right now, the Vegas Golden Knights with 58 points. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Lightning with 61 points. And of course, number 1, the Colorado Avalanche, mutants that they are, have 74 points. They could literally go 500 and not try the rest of the season, and they'd still make the playoffs, probably at the number 1 seed.
Nice.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They have been stupidly good this year. And it's kind of, as a Minnesota fan, to see Colorado doing so good makes me kind of sad.
I agree.
Makes me sad. But yeah, that's it. Sorry about the screen change. I'll remember to charge my camera next time.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
For everyone else out there, we know that if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish whatever it is that you decide you want to do. And we hope that what we do here you enjoy. If that is something that you enjoy and that you have that you like, please, down below there's a button that says subscribe and a button that's a thumbs up. Hit both of them. Hit that bell icon so you'll know when I upload these after I edit them. We'll say in the meantime, be here again next week. Same bearded people, same bearded channel. Till then, stay bearded and peace out.
Yeah.